Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to give you this furry thing, Shaz, to talk into. You be alright?
Yeah.
We thought I'd just do it. Well, I've asked Sharon, and Sharon's alright with it. If she won't mind talking about a recent diagnosis on camera, because I think we all like this. There might be many people feeling the same and not making first step, perhaps. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, not too hard, and you can
Alright.
kind of we'll share experience if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, in August this year, I was feeling like really under the weather. Maybe early September. I felt like I'd had a bit of a breakdown. And I put it down to the fact that we'd lost a couple of dogs. I weren't feeling very well. And that I was just exhausted and worn out all the time. And then I'd been reading up about undiagnosed ADHD in women and things like that. And I did think that I've always thought that there is something with me, especially because I've got two neurodiverse sons as well. I mean, they've got to get it from somewhere. So I went to the doctors. I wrote a list on my phone. I do overshare a lot, so there was loads of notes on the phone. John came in with me, and I just told him how I felt. About stuff that I wake up in the night with things worrying me, and I can't settle till I've woke John up and told him all about them, or just, lots of little details that I went into. And he said, right, well, we will refer you. Can you please fill in an adult self-reporting scale form, and we'll take it from there. So I had one of those on paper at the doctor's, and what I did was I did it there and then and handed it over, because if they gave it me to take home or anything, I might not do it. So I did the self-reporting scale, and it was just general questions about your day-to-day life, and you had to say how often you felt it, whether it was like once a week, twice a week, all the time, most of the time, and 90% of my answers were most of the time. So we sent that in, and then the doctors rang me and said, before you can be referred, you need to choose who you would like to go with. So the current waiting times on the NHS are a long time at the moment, like 2 years or more. So they recommended the right to choose, which is what I'd got in mind anyway. So they gave me a choice of care providers who I could go to for the assessment. Now, with this in mind, I had to think about what was best for me. The list of providers, some do like therapy routes afterwards for diagnosis, and some will give medication. And I do honestly believe that the medication would work for me. So I chose Care ADHD because these are a company that will do holistic. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the best for you. You've got to choose yourself. Nobody can influence you in that anyway. So the doctor sent up my patient care record and the self-reporting scale to the Care ADHD. It must have been about September time at this point. And on the 18th of October, I got an email on a Saturday saying, welcome to Care ADHD, create an account online and fill in the forms. So the forms were not very straightforward, but it is where you can start them and go back to them at a later point. So that was a good thing, because I couldn't find the brain capacity to do it all at once. I did them all. There were similar questions to the self-reporting scale, mainly about your childhood, your relationships, your work, your school life, all things like that. So I did all those. And then there was just one thing at the end that asked me to put in my blood pressure. And it was the one that I was stalling about because we couldn't find the blood pressure machine. So I kept messing about and not going to the chemist. Anyway, I finally submitted it, the form, around the 7th of December. And then on the 18th, I got a call from London from Care ADHD offering me an assessment. I was blown away at this point because I thought it was going to be a lot longer wait. But they offered me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before Christmas. So I opted for Christmas Eve, and that was it. I had the assessment on Christmas Eve.
What a time to have an assessment. Hang on, we're going
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
get to that in a bit.
Yeah, well, Monday I was working or something, and we were at the theatre. Tuesday I was working, so Wednesday was the only option, really.
Yeah.
So I'd focused that, I'd had a week to prepare for it. They sent me a Zoom meeting invite to my phone. I accepted the appointment, for what I thought was 11:30.
Oh.
So on the morning at 10:30, I thought I'll just go into the meeting to see if I can get in. I don't like leaving things till last minute. So when I went in, I joined the meeting fine, so I left the meeting quick, so I knew it worked. And then it said on my email, did I want to add it to my calendar, which I thought it meant the appointment. So I thought, well, no, because I know it's today. So I clicked decline. Well, that was a big mistake, because what it actually did was it cancelled my appointment. It thought I'd declined it. So I had a total panic, rang the number in London, and they rang me back and said, look, it's not too late to join the meeting, but the meeting was actually at 11. So this is one of my things with my ADHD. I can get times wrong and stuff.
Well, just to sort of interject there, I was trying to explain to Shaz that when you're doing meetings and stuff online, because I have to sometimes do them for work, I always click wrong button. I'll forget to join them by clicking button. I mean, I'll join them, but like I've cancelled them before. Don't get me wrong. So we've all been there. What about when we had worked through COVID? A lot of people were going onto these meetings that had never done them before, and there were some right errors, weren't there? So I knew it weren't end at world. Like Jackie Weaver. I knew it weren't end at world. I'll pass you that back because I've got. I've written some questions down because I thought I'll ask some sort of generic ones, and some of these questions are what Shaz has been asked already because. She's openly shared this diagnosis, again, to help others on social media and, just to encourage, really, I guess. But I'll pass you that back.
Okay,
Let me get
thank
my questions
you.
because I'm not as clever as, you know what I mean? It's not like an
Yeah, so I
interview.
joined the meeting. It was supposed to take an hour. I was already 10 minutes late. She did sort of say, why was I late? And I had a bit of a cry. And she said, look, you're clearly distressed. We can reschedule. But I said, no, please let me do it today because I've wanted it so much. If I don't do it today, I'll get upset. So, yeah, we did the assessment.
Right. So my next question is, what was the meeting like when you got on that phone on Christmas Eve? Can you talk me... talk me through the day. I think you've already covered a bit before it where you'd got a bit wrong.
So she'd already...
How did you feel before going in?
So she'd already looked at all my notes and everything and all the application forms before she started the meeting. It was very relaxed because I was in my pyjamas at this point. And she said, no, it's very... Is it when they say informal? Yeah. And she said people can you can go and make a cup of coffee if you want. It's fine. I was quite relaxed once I'd calmed myself down. And she just sort of went through the questions as well, and I had to answer the answers. Some of them were like what had already been on the form. But yeah, we went back to like childhood, work situations, things like that, relationships, spending habits. We went through a lot of stuff. It was a very thorough assessment.
What were the hardest questions to answer? Did you find any of them really tough?
Well, I felt like sometimes I was a bit of a fake because there was like times where one answer I felt contradicted another one, and I thought, is there a right and a wrong answer here? And I can talk a little bit too much, but she did say to me, if we branch off topic, I'm going to do this to the camera, and that means stop and we're going to move on. So she had to do this a few times because I was going a little bit ahead and talking about the next question, and she didn't want me to do that.
Did anything surprise you and come out and you thought, I didn't think that connected to that? Or did anything surprise you?
Yeah, she talked about losing things. I'm very, very forgetful. It's normally vapes, keys, phones, something that I'd unpack that I'd bought somewhere and put somewhere. Yeah. So that came up. She also asked me about my childhood and whether I was a clumsy child. And when I thought about it, I said, yes, I actually was. I had a thing for plasters. I liked having them on, but I was always very adventurous as a child, coming off my bike, climbing trees. As much as I love my dolls, I were a really active child on the go all the time. Whereas now, as I've got older, I'm not as physically active, but that's a different part of the ADHD.
How did you feel after then? When they give you the diagnosis they give it you on the phone, over the phone? Yeah,
at the end of the assessment, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very brief summary. I didn't record any of it, but you do get it in writing on an email after a few days. She just said, I will diagnose you with combined ADHD, which means that you've got the inattentive, you've got the hyperactivity, and you've got the impulsivity. So I felt a lot of relief. I just burst into tears because I thought,
Yeah.
this is why I felt like I have for so long.
Yeah.
It just felt validated.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry.
No, it's all right. We can pause.
But yeah, I felt really happy and really relieved. And I came downstairs and I saw John. I was like, I've got it. But in my head, I knew I'd got it. But I just wanted to have the validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like your whole life got like relabeled, or did you feel like that validation what main thing?
I just felt a bit sad.
Yeah.
Because I thought about how different things might have been had I known this and had the support in school.
Yeah.
Because I was a fidget, I was a chatterbox, I used to do really extreme things, get myself in trouble quite often.
Yeah.
But obviously, I have different traits to what, because the typical ADHD child, when you think of being at school, is like a boy who throws chairs or does naughty things. But I weren't like that. But I had my own my little things, you know.
Yeah. And it's common that you felt that sort of validation, but a bit of sadness, because I've looked at this and it says that you can grieve for your younger self. Like, what if I'd have had help then? What would it have been like for me then?
I did, because on Christmas Day, after we'd had Christmas dinner and stuff at John's mum's and I came home, I had a bit of a little drink and I felt a bit emotional and a bit sad and I cried a bit and I said to John, I'm really angry because when I went to school, secondary school, I did all right academically, but I was one of these that would get all my classwork done really quick so I could do my homework in class time, and then I'd get home and have no homework to do and I'd have free time. But I did only get 3 GCSEs grade C, and I think I got 4 or 5 D grades, and I think if I'd have had that little push, just that little bit more, support in the classroom.
Yeah, support. Yeah.
I might have been able to do a little bit more. But I've struggled all the time with my mind, and I've thought, well, this is just how everybody is.
Yeah.
And you sort of begin to accept it, and you think, well, everybody's like me. Everybody gets upset. Everybody gets overwhelmed. But I think what's happened is with me, I'm probably menopausal, perimenopausal or menopausal, I'm not sure which. And you just get burnt out. So when I've had all these episodes, I've been to the doctors and they've said, oh, you've had like a depression episode. I've just thought, okay, fine. But it's not that. It's the burnout from the constant masking.
Yeah.
And having to try and carry on all the time and just feel like you're not good enough or you're not doing anything right. And my biggest thing this year is I've been procrastinating everything, where I have to really, really force myself to do even the simplest of things. Like, this sounds crazy, but even taking a shower, I've really struggled with. Stuff like that, or putting washing to dry when it's been in the washer for 2 days and having to wash it again, and all stuff like that. Just little things that all add up. And I think that it's probably quite common that there's going to be a lot of ladies my age.
I was going to say, this is one of the last few questions, because then I think you've covered quite a lot, and it's not a grilling session, but if there's ladies out there, or men, in the 40s and then 50s and even 60s that have not actually looked at this, or are scared to sort of look for a diagnosis or more support, what would you say?
Don't be scared. There is help out there. If you just want to have that validation, or whether you want to try the medication route, which will probably be a different story with me once I start that, just go and speak to the doctor. And if you find the forms overwhelming, maybe get somebody to help you with them. Just take your time, make sure you do it and send them off. It's definitely worth it for your own peace of mind, because I've had a few days now where I felt quite at peace. There's been a little switch. Just I don't know, like those Tressie dolls at the back of your head, a little switch has been pressed.
Yeah.
And I just feel a bit calmer.
Yeah.
And I've got some more inner peace. But then I might have a day where I think, for God's sake, why didn't I have help before? And I revert back to that. But mainly now, I'm a lot calmer in my mind, because I just feel it's normal to feel like I have been. I'm not abnormal. I have lived with a disability. And I've read somewhere that somebody said it's like running a machine for the past 52 years with no handbook. You're just like winging it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I am where I am. I've had a good life. You know, I've got a lovely husband. I love my job. I've got a lovely roof over my head. I've got kids that worship me. So I'm pretty much winning in life.
He's got a pig down here. What's he doing?
And we've got 4
God.
crazy dogs and 2 cats and a bearded dragon. So yeah, life's good.
Life's hectic but good.
Yeah, it's good.
What's one thing? Thank you for sharing. But what's one thing that you're doing now that's different to what you did before? Is there anything that you've changed straight away? I know it's early doors, but is there anything that you've sort of changed, or is it just the fact that you know now why things are like that?
I'm just trying to be a little bit easier on myself because I'm very self-critical. And I can focus a lot on what I haven't achieved in a day, and then that upsets me, and then it sends me into like, I sort of shut myself down. But when I sit and think, yeah, well, I have achieved stuff today. You know, I've done this, I've done that, just little things. Just pat yourself on the back for the little things that you achieve. Because for somebody that's neurodiverse, it's a big thing. Yeah. It's like climbing up a mountain. Yeah. So just patting myself on the back that bit more and praising myself.
Just on closing, then you'd encourage anybody who's thinking about looking at the diagnosis to definitely do it. I would. Don't let it put you off. If you do the right to choose and you get seen, you're just going to feel so much better for it. Yeah. Don't let anybody put you off and say, why do you need to know? Or if you want to know, you want to know, and that's it. Why should you not know? It's your body, isn't it? It's your mind. It is. Your choice. Yeah, it's good to know that I'm not crazy. No. I'm not quite sure what my superpowers are yet. Oh, you've got plenty, don't you? Trust me, you have. Yeah. All right then. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you for watching. Take care.